Okay, this already feels extremely chaotic. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to be taking you through what's in my vocal bag. Honestly, it's a bit of a mess right now because I haven't sorted it out since I got back from Burlesque. So I have like a portable on the go one, and then I have like my main one, and then I have all of this, which is like kind of extra. But I'm just going to try and like take you through the basis of what I do for my voice to keep it in good stead for shows or gigs or recording sessions or whatever I'm doing at that time, to keep it healthy and to keep my cords not mad at me. So arguably the most important thing I have in my vocal bag is this bad boy. This is a nebulizer. If you're a vocalist, you probably know that already. But if you don't, this is an Omron. Oh, shit, if I can show you. See that? So what this does is you breathe it in like normal and it hydrates your vocal cords for you. It's also really good at decongesting, relaxing your vocal cords, and you can use this throughout a show. I would always have this with me on one of the trucks side stage. I'd have it with my water bottle and with whatever I had with me that day to get me through the show, because unlike a steamer where you have to, which I'll get onto that, you have to wait for some time before you sing. This you can sing straight after, use it throughout, whatever you need, and it's really good at hydrating your vocal cords. What I will say about these, I've worked out a hack for them. This is if you've got the Omron one. Some people use Vocal Mist. There are different brands of them, but I use the Omron one because I love it and my vocal coach recommended it to me. However, it can like leak and stuff, and sometimes it can like stop like puffing out the smoke. So what you need to do is, because it sort of all comes apart, you see in there, get a piece of tissue and dry that out. Because sometimes when the smoke stops coming out, this is something I figured out during Burlesque because it was really pissing me off. I'm pissing all of my castmates off that had these. And then I figured out that if you dry the inside of it, it puffs out the air again. So if you're having that issue with these, that's what I would suggest to do. It's a little hack. The other thing you need with those is, if I've got any to spare, they'll be in here. The saline solutions that go in them. You have to use specific ones. So I either get the Vocal Mist ones, or these are some from Amazon, Base Laboratories. It has to be hypertonic. So it will say hypertonic on it and then saline solution. I'll link them. And then you put those in, basically. Don't just use it with water. It's not going to do anything. Well, it's not going to do the same thing. Okay, next. I have a lot to get through, so I'm like trying to... Let's talk about a steamer while we're on the topic of hydrating your vocal cords. This is a Dr. Nelson's. You've probably seen these if you're a drama school student or performer or whatever. This is my baby. I love this. She's kind of chipped and broken and all sorts now. They come in different sizes. These are great, but you can't sing straight after them. So how I would use my steamer is usually post-show as opposed to pre-show. So whereas the nebulizer I can use like before a show or during a show, this is part of my warm down routine. So I would steam every night after the show before I go to bed. And if I'm just feeling vocally tired, generally, I steam after I've warmed down and then I don't talk. I'm on vocal rest. I steam and I go to sleep. It will completely relax your vocal cords, will hydrate them. It will decongest you. If you have a lot of phlegm or mucus on your cords, this is great to do maybe like first thing in the morning and then voice rest for, I would say half an hour. I'm a half an hour girly. It's 15 minutes really, but half an hour. So I would have this first thing in the morning if you're feeling coldy. So I was really ill at the end of Burlesque and I was really congested. So I would steam first thing when I got up before I'd spoken, on voice rest for when I was ill. I would like voice rest for as long as possible in the morning, and it will help lift anything off of your cords if you're really mucusy or whatever. And then you can sing later on. These are great. It gives you instructions on it. I didn't even know that. Remove mouthpiece, half fill inhaler with boiling water. Oh, that's the other thing. When you fill it with boiling water, let it cool down. Extreme temperatures, either hot or cold, aren't good for your vocal cords. So you want to let any hot drinks become sort of not room temperature, a bit warmer, just warm. And obviously we don't drink ice cold water. You want to have like room temperature water. So with this, I always let it cool down for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on where I am and how quickly it's cooling down, before I use it. Okay, let's talk about warm up. Put my little throat coat back. like standing up. We'll get to that. So this is my vocal tube, created by a guy called Joshua, who's mad about the voice on Instagram, who's an extremely amazing vocal coach, trains loads and loads of people, and he brought out these vocal tubes. I also have my own little cup with my name on it that I always warm up with. These are really great for warming up your voice. I will always I actually have 2 of these, so I always have one with me. Say I'm away with a show, keep one at my digs, keep one at the theatre, or one at home when I'm here, and take one with me to the studio, that sort of thing. The reason why these are good is they are thick. And I actually have thinner tubes later on, which I'll talk about, which is for further down your warm-up. But these, why they're good is it keeps your vocal cords completely relaxed as you're warming up. I will use these at the beginning of my warm-up. After a little bit of breathing and a little bit of humming and just getting a little bit of resonance there, I put in a little bit of water, about a quarter of a cup full of water, and you blow. Got no water in here. Really gently, really softly, not doing too much. It's going to be really good for relaxing your vocal cords and warming up slowly and healthily. The other thing this is really good for is if you're unwell. I lost my voice because I caught what I think now was COVID at the end of Burlesque. And I lost it completely. I had no siren. So this is also really good for doing vocal physio. So as I was trying to get my voice back, I spoke to my vocal coach, a guy called Mike Howell, who, look him up, he's the legend himself. He's incredible and he is all the things. And I was speaking to him about what to do to get my voice back. And he would give me these vocal physio exercises, which was basically blowing bubbles like you would do warming up, but on no sound. So you're just blowing air really gently, doing that like you would a siren, but like I said, on no sound. So you're not going, you're just, but into the water really gently. It's going to give you basically a vocal massage. So this is also what this is really good for, warming up or vocal physio. Okay, let's stay on straws. So then I have my baby straws. I got these from a guy called John O'McNeil, who's also an amazing vocal coach, who I actually worked with on The Voice Kids when I was 13. And then he trained me a bit more when I was older, when I was like 16, 17. And I got these from him, and these are also amazing, but they're for a completely different purpose. So this is the same thing, but it's a tiny little straw. I don't know whether you can see that. So this is going to have a lot more pressure. So you want to be warm when you do it. So the issue with doing these at the beginning of your warm-up is if you're not warm, there's too much pressure on. Your vocal cords aren't there yet. Don't do that. It's not healthy for them. But once I'm warm, this is my absolute key to having really free mixed belted high notes that feel easy and like they're just falling out, because you sing on these. And it's gonna feel so much easier when you then come to belts. Again, when I was recovering from an illness in Burlesque, when I came back and I was warming up and I'd finished warming up, I lost a lot of resonance in my upper cheeks and across my nose and in my sinuses. I really heavily rely on feeling for singing. I rely on that resonance a lot. I work a lot of how it feels, where I'm feeling it. And I couldn't feel it because I was just so blocked up that when I went back, I was like, I can't feel anything as I'm singing. So this allowed me to feel that resonance at the top of my cheeks again when I went on stage, and was really helpful for me. So I would definitely recommend these if you're struggling on that belt or that mix, getting that resonance, getting that ping. These are great. Another thing I would keep in my dressing room is these bad boys. And I had people come into my room every day and steal these from my room because of how great they are. These are throat coats. Ariana Grande has these. That's all I'll say. The thing is, I'm all clued up about all the vocal medicines, but I don't even know what this does. I don't even know what it does. I just remember the first time I had it being like, this is life-changing, this is incredible. And I will often bring these down to side stage with me in a hot drink and sip it throughout the show. It's really soothing. I don't even know what it does. I actually don't even know what it does. So if someone can tell me what this does, then great. I'd love to learn. Just get it. I don't even know. I've got nothing else to say about that one, to be honest, other than get it. It's caffeine free. It's a tea bag. It's a herbal supplement. And it's fucking life-changing. Throat coat, I love you. Okay, on the same thing of hot drinks to soothe your voice or to protect your voice, this is now what I rely on more than probably anything else in terms of staying healthy and keeping my voice in good condition. I call it my potion, right? Think about honey and lemon and then put it on steroids. That's what this is. So I use Manuka honey. Manuka honey is the best thing you can take for your voice. It's completely natural. It's expensive. It is expensive, but I always have to just see it as an investment because this shit keeps my voice going. It keeps you from getting sick. It's extremely soothing on your voice. It will help prevent you from getting an infection. It's just incredible. So this is Manuka honey. This is 600 plus. Like I said, it's spenny, but it's worth it. So this is the main ingredient of said potion. You can also just have spoonfuls of this. It's great to just coat your throat with. So how I make the potion. You've got key ingredients. Fuck the lemon off. I don't personally like putting lemon in my stuff. I find it too acidic on my voice. I think it's a controversial view as to whether you should put lemon in stuff or not. I personally don't think you should, but who the fuck am I? So if it works for you, do it, but I don't put it in mine. I will put in a whole bloody tub of Manuka honey into a saucepan with some boiling water, and then I will put in a fuck ton of ginger. Ginger is an anti-inflammatory. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. Then I'm going to put turmeric in there. Turmeric's also an anti-inflammatory, and it also helps you absorb everything else within that potion. It's going to be really good at just making sure you get all of the nutrients that you're putting into your body. And it's also an anti-inflammatory, and inflammation is the worst thing for your vocal cords. And sometimes you don't even have to be sick to have inflammation. Like if you're just singing every night and you're doing 8 shows a week, your cords will just naturally be more inflamed because you're using them so much. So sometimes it's nice to just bring that back down to more of a normal state. Then the last thing I'm going to put in, and I cannot stress you enough how little you need of this, but it's fresh red chili. And I'm telling you, like, I mean like this much. Like chop off the end of a chili and put it in. Not a lot, because if you put too much in it, it irritates you. Tiny little bit into the potion. You let that simmer for as long as you can, really. I would say like an hour at least. Let everything absorb. I usually batch cook it. I would make like 2 jars of it at the beginning of the week, and then I'd keep 1 at the theatre and 1 at home. And then you can just pour it into a mug, put it in the microwave, heat it up. Life-changing. It's amazing. It's great. Next thing's electrolytes. Electrolytes are good. They hydrate you. It's as simple as that. You want to be hydrated. Your voice wants to be hydrated. They give you energy. That's just an added bonus. But they're hydration tablets, basically. So have an electrolyte tablet a day, especially if you're doing shows or doing gigs or in the studio every day and you want to maintain your energy and your stamina and your hydration. Also, if you're doing a show, you're sweating. You're sweating more than normal. So this will also help replenish all of the salts in your body and keep you hydrated when you're sweating a lot. Oh, bass oil. These I just keep in there for if I'm sick. Okay, I just ran out of space on the SD card on this camera, so I've had to switch cameras, so if it looks different, I apologise. But we're on a different camera. Oh, bass oil. Yeah, I will just have this on me at the theatre, in my dressing room, just in case. It's just good to decongest. It's just a handy thing to have. I don't use it every day at all, but it's just a handy thing to have. These bad boys. You've probably seen these. Grover's Pastels. It's empty. That's not an endorsement. I don't know what is. It's a great throat sweet. I don't love menthol, and these don't have menthol in them. So they're pretty natural. I find they're just really soothing on the voice. I find they're really helpful when I'm singing. Can have them and sing. Again, just really helpful to have. I have tissues, but I'm going to talk about the purpose of them more so than the fact that I have tissues in my bag. I like to have something to stretch out my tongue with. So I'll just get a tissue and like stretch out my tongue. It's kind of grim, but it's helpful. The other thing I'll usually have is some sort of moisturizer so that I can do a little voice massage, bring my voice box down during my warm down. Warm down is something I'm going to talk about in a second, but I'll have like a moisturizer that I can do that with and just get all up in there. The other thing that I do want to get is something that Mary-Kate Morrissey, who's Elphaba on Broadway, I watched one of her videos that talks about this, what she keeps in her vocal bag, and she has these little like finger pads. I usually just wash my hands and like sanitize them. I do this, but actually these would be really helpful, so I want to get these. And that is so you can do an intraoral massage on my jaw. I have a really temperamental jaw anyway, so I specifically want to get those for that, but I love doing an intraoral jaw massage. Google it. I don't really know how to describe it, but you basically, there's a specific point on the inside of your jaw where you can stretch it and really release any jaw tension. So there's also an intraoral tongue root massage, which as well, I would use those for. They're like these things you put over your fingers, basically. I also just keep Dettol wipes with me. These are mostly so I can wipe over microphones. If I'm in like a rehearsal space where you've got like these universal microphones that you know there's probably been like 6 studio sessions before you of people with their mouths like this close to the mic. So I wipe them down. I don't know if it's good for the mic, but honestly, I don't care. Don't get me wrong, I won't like go into like the mechanics of it, but just a wipe over the top. And then I stay like a safe distance away from mics that I know are being used with multiple people. I just think it's handy to have an anti-back wipe with you, with me in my dressing room, with me around, so you can wipe down anything you need to. This is really niche. You probably don't need this, but I have a random hand warmer that I will put on my jaw to relax it. If you don't suffer with like extreme jaw issues, then you don't need this. But if you do, if you're someone that struggles with jaw tension, I do a lot in my sleep that fucks me over and then my jaw's really tight in the morning. This is really handy to just, heat is really good to relax your muscles. So I find this just really relaxes my jaw. So getting a little portable hand warmer, I would definitely recommend if jaw tension is something you specifically struggle with. It stays in its little pouch and I take it to rehearsal with me. Vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams. I'd say this is the most important vitamin I take. I actually take a lot. Hold on. Okay. I take vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams. Usually the vitamin C tablets that you'll get at the, I was about to say the drugstore then, at the pharmacy will be 500 milligrams. Get 1,000. It's just high strength. It's just better for you. This is gonna keep your immune system up. Magnesium. This is good for your muscles. It's good for recovery. If you're doing a show and you're using your muscles a lot, your voice is also a muscle. So magnesium, great for recovery. Zinc. This is for your immunity. Again, you want to keep your immune system up if you're tired, if you're working a lot. If I'm tired, everything goes to there. Every cold, every infection, all that, it's all going to go to your throat because you're using it so much. So I would say it's really important to keep your immune system up as much as possible. Turmeric, I've already spoken about this, but it's going to help you absorb all the other vitamins you're taking. Good for joint health. It's also an anti-inflammatory. Take those every day. And then the last thing, oh my God, vitamin D. Vitamin D is also really good for your immune system, like vitamin C. So taking them together is like a proper power punch for your immune system. And apparently it's also good for bone health. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to talk, I don't have it with me. I wonder if I do. No, I don't have one in here. I have it in my room right now because I have a cold and I'm trying to keep my voice hydrated throughout the night. But something I would definitely recommend getting for your dressing room or for your home. I actually have one both when I'm doing burlesque just because it's so demanding. Having a humidifier in your dressing room to keep the air really moist. People used to walk into my dressing room and be like, this is like a vocal care room. You just know you walk in there and your voice just rejuvenates. You would walk in. It was also kind of unpleasant at times because it was so humid in there. For me, if I come into there during the interval, then I'm on voice rest in the interval usually. I'm breathing in all this lovely hydration and then go back and do act two. I find it really helpful. So a humidifier basically produces room temperature steam. It's not steam, but it's not steam because it's not hot. Why can't I think of the word? You know what I mean? It produces moisture for the air. So I like to use it when I'm sleeping. Some people use mouth tape. I actually haven't tried that, but I do want to try that. But I find if I just put my humidifier on, when I wake up, my cords aren't really dry and you're like, ugh, because they've been hydrated throughout the night. If I need to use my voice a lot, I usually have my humidifier as part of my routine. The other thing I do actually keep in my vocal bag is a stress oil. It's obviously not technically for your voice, but stress and tension is so bad for your voice. So anything you can do to keep yourself relaxed and in a good mental place, it's going to help your voice. So I like to keep a little aromatherapy oil with me. You know, listen, it doesn't solve the job, but it can at least be an anchor for you with relaxation, and you can put it on your wrists. This would basically be the equivalent to whatever keeps you relaxed, keeps your body relaxed, keeps your mind relaxed, because that tension will go to your vocal cords. And if your vocal cords are tense, your shoulders are tense, if your jaw's tense, if your tongue's tense, if any of you's tense, really, it does have a knock-on impact to your voice. So I just like to have that with me. Honestly, I don't even use it that much. I should probably use it a bit more. But it's nice to have. The other shit I have in there is like Lemsip tablets, paracetamol, Nurofen, like all of the things if I'm feeling unwell. I also have face masks in there. Again, if you're like traveling on the tube a lot sometimes and you have like a really important gig coming up, sometimes I wear a face mask just to like stop anything getting in there. Okay, the last thing I'll talk about is warming down. Going back to my hearty vocal tube. This is great to warm down with. If you are not warming down after your shows, start. For the love of your voice, start. There are warm down, like 5-minute warm down routines online on YouTube. Super easy. I do them in the shower after a show, or if I come back from the studio. It will literally take you 10 minutes. I'll give you a couple. You can warm down on a straw. I love warming down on a straw because, like I said, it keeps your vocal cords really relaxed and you're really just trying to bring your larynx back to a nice, normal, balanced place. You're not sleeping with it up there. You can do scales down on it, blow bubbles into the water like you did when you warmed up. Another one you can do is a vocal fry. So if you start on a note, you're not pushing a lot of air out, but it's just relaxing your vocal cords. Warm down your scale, warm down on your tube, warm down on your vocal fry, steam and go to bed and your voice will thank you. And then obviously I just have my water. This is new. I always love to have a nice, honestly, the amount of water bottles I go through, because water bottles, I just fucking love them. I had a Lululemon one for Burlesque. This is my new one because my Lululemon one got ruined because I wore red lipstick every night and it was white and it's now stained. Drink loads of water, hydrate. It really is the best thing for your voice. Good sleep and hydration is the best thing for your voice. And then just not really overthinking. I'm not a good example of this because I'm paranoid as fuck all the time. And I think there's a healthy element to that because I think that you have to take care of your voice. If you want to be able to sing when you're 40, you have to take care of it. You have to warm up. You have to warm down. It's something you have to do. You would not see an athlete just going and doing a race without doing any warm up or doing any recovery. And it's no different for vocalists. You need to protect your instrument. You cannot buy a new voice. You can buy a new guitar. If you drop your guitar, you can buy a new one. You can't do that with your voice. So vocal injuries and vocal fatigue sometimes are inevitable. Sometimes you're doing everything you can and it happens anyway. But I guarantee you, if you are protecting your voice along the way, one, you're less likely to have that happen to you. And if you do have that happen to you, because like I said, some people have more of a predisposition to get a vocal injury and some people don't even have to warm up and they'll be absolutely fine. But I like to err on the side of caution. I personally am not someone that can not warm up and then sing at my best. I'm not someone that can do that. I also speak quite low and have a lot of like fry in my speech and I speak so loud and stuff. Really, I need to look at how I'm speaking because I kind of need to do an Ariana Grande and put everything up here and it will be really nice and really nasally and then I'll probably have a healthier voice generally anyway. But like I said, you can't buy a new voice. Look after it. Be a geek about it. Learn about it. And then try and not over worry about it. If you're doing all the things you can do, then like I said, vocal injury, vocal fatigue is inevitable. But if you are protecting your voice, one, you're less likely to have it happen to you. And if you do have it happen to you, it's going to be less severe than if you weren't doing all of those things. And there are incredible experts and incredible people out there to help you with that. Look after yourself. It's hard out there and people expect a lot from us. So do all the things. I will put links to some of this stuff in the description below if you're interested in buying it. A lot of it's really cheap. Some of it's not as cheap, but the things that are not, I just treat them as investments. Yeah, that's what I have in my vocal bags. Usually it's a bit more organized than this, but like I said, I haven't been through it. The only other thing I would say is really helpful is taking vocal naps. If I can just take 10 minutes, 20 minutes without uttering a word, I'll do it. When I was in rehearsals for Burlesque and I'd be singing all day and it's not even a 2-hour show, a 2.5-hour show. It's like a 6-hour long rehearsal and you're talking and you're doing dialogue and you're singing and you're using your voice a lot. So if I could take just 20 minutes to just not utter a word, I would find that really helpful. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you think I missed anything or if there's any other tips and tricks that you have, because I'm always looking for new ways to protect this. So let me know if you want me to go into any more detail about some of these things, if you don't fully understand what any of them do or what you should be doing or how you should be using them. And I will see you next week. Oh, I have to clear this up now. Bye.